people save that property. I swear it's haunted.
It's time to let the place go.
What about Paul?
An old bastard just wants revenge.
There's something he's doing. I need to wait till dark to tell you.
It's dark now.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with Popcorn Podcast. It's great to meet you. I'm excited to talk to you about what Josiah Saw, which is such a visceral experience from an audience perspective. What was your first impression of the script when you read it?
Great question. I thought the script was, very intense, but very interesting. And I love the dialogue. It's sort of this Southern prose. It's almost like Shakespearean kind of, language in itself. It's very interesting. And I thought it was very challenging. I called Vincent and I asked him about the role. And I said, well, tell me a film that you've done that I could see that I might be able to judge your ability as a director. And he said, look at my film and then I go. I watched it and I was blown away by his ability as a director. He didn't let me down. He is every bit the filmmaker that I thought he was.
I mean, it's so important to find a connection with your director's work and then on set. How was your relationship working with Vincent on the film?
Vincent is a very hands-on guy. He has a very specific image that he's going for, and he tries to communicate with you what he sees in his mind. We worked at such a fast pace that there was a real economy in the way we discuss things. So we really had to kind of go for it. That was what was so appealing to me, was the challenge of the film, the pace of the shooting schedule, how long the days were, how much time we had for each scene. There was so much dialogue. And there's another whole movie. There's the movie that I'm in, and then there's the other movie that Nick Stahl and Kelly Garner are in. And it's interesting to see how they're brought together.
For that explosive final act, if you will.
Oh my God, what a crazy act that is. And I was very disturbed when I saw the film too. I went, Jesus, this is, I don't know how this is going to go over.
Now, some of your characters, are cemented in history as the most terrifying on screen. And I mean, the T-1000 is most obvious one. What do you enjoy about playing those kinds of roles?
Well, I mean, how lucky am I that no one had a preconceived notion of who I was when I was playing the T-1000. So it was very easy for the public, the movie-going public, to embrace the T-1000 and believe he is what he is.
Yeah.
I was a complete unknown. And that's how you're welcomed into the movie world, right? So now the hardest thing for me has been trying to do other things that are more heroic and kind of leading man-ish. I've been very blessed, though, to be able to do both, and have had some great opportunities with John Doggett in the X-Files, playing a romantic lead on that show. So, it's fun for me to play villains. I really do enjoy it. I have my limitations. There's certain things I don't want to do, but if I respond to the material and I think it's something I can sink my teeth into or want to try to, I will go after it.
Yeah. And building on that, obviously across your career, you've played a few questionable father figures, most recently in Peacemaker. So what interested you about Josiah from a villain and father figure?
I'm a father. I have a daughter and a son, both who are in the business and pursuing their own careers. And they would tell you that I'm a warm and cuddly, fun father.
Not quite your character of Josiah, though.
Exactly. But if that's the platform you're jumping off of, you can see how you can delve into this world of manipulation and the darker sides. I did what Josiah saw before I did Peacemaker. So the reality is what Josiah saw, this character, informed what I did with Peacemaker.
That's interesting.
Peacemaker, though, has much more comedic sensibility.
Yes, with James Gunn behind the director's chair in the script, for sure.
Yeah,
there's always that layers of comedy in there.
But I knew I had a certain reality that I could jump from of a horrible human being. I just having played one.
Scott Hayes is brilliant in this film. He plays your son Thomas. How did you guys?
Scott Hayes and Nick Stahl and Kelly Garner are all so wonderful. All three as my children. Scotty in particular, he and I together, just so wonderful. I love that kid. I loved working with him. He's just a great, great guy. Super uber talented young man.
Obviously, you guys connected and got along really well as mates. But how did you then go into that place of such darkness as a father and son relationship? How did you work through that together as actors?
Well, the words are the words and the actions are the actions that are scripted, and you're going to do what you're going to do. But as actors, I know how deep and how dark Scott was going with the character, and I know how hard he had worked on it. Scotty's one of those wonderfully giving actors that you're looking at and he's pulling for you. He wants you to win. He wants you to do this scene really well. And there was a real father-son loving kind of actor reciprocal love for each other kind of a thing going on. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
That just sounds like a dream, right? As an actor,
Yeah.
to work with an actor who's so giving and complimentary.
He is really an amazing, amazing young actor. And we got really close, Scotty and I. We got really close really quickly. And thank God for that, because that's what the film needed.
Thank you so much for your time today. I've got one final question in wrapping
Sure.
up. Are you a fan of watching horror films? Like, what do you watch in your downtime?
I watch a lot of, I guess, historic drama, Vikings and Valhalla and
Yeah.
The Last Kingdom and things like that. I watch a lot of that kind of stuff. I like drama. I do watch horror, but I don't watch a lot of it. I wouldn't say it's the genre I spend most of my time in. To be honest with you, I don't see this film as a horror film. I really
What
don't.
would you call it? Like a thriller,
Like a psychological thriller kind of but
it's like horror in human nature, I guess you could say.
yeah, to me, this was it didn't really dawn on me it was a horror film.
Well, Robert, thank you so much. It's been so much fun talking to you, and all the success with the release of What Josiah Saw on Shudder.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you very much, man. It's nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks again.